Coming up on NCC News, more problems at Metro North. A kiss is more than a kiss. The Keystone Pipeline, and we'll meet a 100-year-old belly dancer. Stay tuned.
Good one, son.
Last summer, my new dad took me on vacation. First, we went deep sea fishing. Wow!
I'm so proud of you, son.
And then we went on Thunder Shark. That was awesome! Let's go again. 3 times. I gotta say, it was pretty cool.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
Oh, not again.
This is my computer.
This is your computer. Let's go on the internet.
Let's go. Click it.
Yes.
Okay.
I cursor in between the R and the E. When I see dot, I want you to just push the period.
She's gonna love me all over again.
That's it. Jamaica, here you go.
Here we go.
Good job.
Right. Thank you. Thank you. And I did it by myself. Feel smarter.
I fainted at the sight of blood. Me, a nurse? I had no idea that's what I'd be when I went to NCC. But NCC is not like other colleges.
NCC has a Student Success Center where counselors assist every student in creating a future.
I'm so happy. Nurse Robbins. I created that.
Be who you want to be. Create your future at NCC.
People think I'm trash, but they're wrong. Today I'm just an aluminum can, but one day I could be a stadium.
Hello, I'm Michael Perea.
And I'm Alex Ravello. In our top story, more issues with Metro North.
Let's report to Nat Sandberg at Sono Metro North train station.
This is the South Norwalk train station. As you can see, the station is not crowded at this time. But Metro North, as well as Amtrak and the Acela trains, pass through the station on a regular basis. There are long corridors which feature waiting rooms as well as a concourse with food areas, restrooms, as well as the ticket window. But the bigger question, in light of all the investigations, is safety. Do riders and workers feel Metro North is trying to make things right?
Well, for safety procedures, they're always, like they're doing maintenance on the tracks, and I just feel like it gives the passengers a safe feeling to know that they're always doing their job and can make announcements. For example, like the one who works here, he's really nice and always helps the customers. And I think it's like overall it's like a safe station here.
Couples are not going to give up kissing, although there are many germs involved. A study shows that germs can be very healthy in the long term. Nat Sandberg reports.
A 10-second French kiss can transfer as many as 80 million bacteria to the other person. Researchers in the Netherlands looked at over 20 couples, tested how many times they kiss, and took swabs of the couples' mouths. They found that couples who kiss on average 9 times a day, they have similar something called microbial communities inside their mouth. But before you get too grossed out, these sorts of bacteria can help people, potentially help in digesting food and preventing disease. In the study, the researchers also found that women said they give about 5 kisses a day, but men reported 10 kisses. Suppose when you're kissing, you can't be bothered with doing math. Love and kisses, Nat Sandberg, NCC News.
As CNN reports, the Keystone Pipeline and proponents of the Keystone Pipeline can kiss it goodbye for a while, as Congress did defeat the measure on a recent vote.
No, The controversial Keystone XL pipeline bill hit a dead end again. The Senate's latest attempt to pass the legislation failed on the Senate floor by one vote.
The yeas are 59, the nays are 41. The bill is not passed.
The bill's defeat likely to be welcomed by the White House. President Obama threatened to use his veto powers if the bill made it to his desk. He repeatedly urged lawmakers to wait for the State Department to complete its environmental impact analysis.
With respect to Keystone, I've been clear in the past, Pete, my position hasn't changed, that this is a process that is supposed to be followed.
Louisiana Senator Mary Landrieu, fighting for her political life, tried to twist the arms of reluctant fellow Democrats. She hoped the approval of the bill would carry her to victory next month in a runoff election against Republican challenger Bill Cassidy.
When I played ball, whether you won or lost that day, you just shook the opponent's hand, you got up, and you went to fight another day. So there will be no blame from this senator.
The bill's chances of passing both houses of Congress will significantly increase come January. The new Republican majority Congress will be convening then. At that point, the bill would likely pass both GOP-leaning chambers, setting up yet another high-stakes showdown between the White House and Capitol Hill. Reporting in Washington, I'm Polo Sandoval.
Wonder what you will be doing at the age of 100? Maybe you'll be a belly dancer like this woman, who just turned 100 years old last weekend. CNN has the story.
I don't feel 100.
That is evident. Meet Catherine First, known by most as Kay. Belly dancing is her lifelong passion.
I started at around 30, I think. That's when I had a shape.
The Long Island native and hairdresser by trade still has that shape. Today, she slipped into the same outfit she danced in the 70s.
They used to come in my shop and they had the hair done, and they invited me to dance in those gorgeous homes.
This past weekend, she celebrated her 100th birthday. She even got this necklace from a friend who was able to have it blessed by the Pope.
The Pope, which is an honor and a privilege.
These days, it doesn't take much convincing to get Kay to show off her moves. Among volunteering at local senior communities, she used to dance for them.
I still dance, but some of them, you know, the senior citizen, they don't like it too much.
But apparently the men just couldn't handle it. Since it's not every day that I get a chance to meet someone who's 100 years young, I had to ask, what's the secret to a long, happy life? She tells me, that's easy.
The more you do something for somebody, God will bless you. And that's what I did all my life.
The Carriage House Arts Center, presented by the Norwalk Department of Parks and Recreation, presented the Marvelous Wonderettes show performed by local actors. Tiffany Grandison covers this news story.
Marvelous Wonderettes here at the Carriage House Arts Center in Norwalk's Cranberry Park. The Marvelous Wonderettes is going to be performed here October 17th through November 1st. And this is the last show of our 10th season here in Cranberry Park. And what we do here at the Carriage House is we present 4 or 5 shows a year for all different audiences and all different age ranges. We have some children's shows as well as some adult shows. And The Wonderettes is a musical, that's an adult musical that's about girl groups of the 50s and the 60s. And they're rehearsing right now, so you can hear them a little bit behind me.
R, thrill me, go, thrill me,
And our hands are still on the microphone?
No, our arms are down. Thrill me, walk me down the lane, will be. Then hands on our heart when you make me tell you I love you. Ooh. Yeah.
Connecticut Makes a Difference Day was held at the Person to Person in Darien. As the holiday season approaches, the less fortunate benefit from food and the clothing collected from the community. Our news team reported this event. Tiffany Grandison was on the scene.
I love these cameras.
Hi, welcome to Person. We have about, this is the clothing center down here. We have about 200 clients a day, a little thereabouts, that come down and get a bag for clothing, and they get a half an hour to shop and find what they need for their families. We have a room for children, we have a room for women and teen girls, and a room for men and teen boys. We get donations in all day long from donors in the community, donations of clothing, donations of food. We have a food pantry as well. We also have a program for newborn babies in the hospital. We have social workers here on premise.
We're just there for each other.
Yeah, no. What's out is out. What's out is out, please.
We got adult novels and stuff like that. On this shelf here, sheet towels. So you want to do a couple buttons, so it's going to fall it off.
Lindsay just likes to sort of find everything. I've been volunteering for 3 years, and I volunteer because I think this is a good organization. We do a lot of good. There are a lot of people who need clothes, and we provide that for them free, and I feel really good about that.
On the top rack over there, that are all women's. Can I pass these down? Happy to put them on that top rack for me, please. I'm going to show you one other thing quickly.
I'll go into the men's area.
Boys 2 through 6. We have books over here on the bookshelf. That basket right there is children's hats, gloves, scarves, mittens, winter stuff like that. And behind you we have different things that are, this is the bag area that's a mess I'm trying to organize right now, so if anyone wants to help me with that, they can help me with that. But we hang things here, toys, jewelry, I don't know what that.
Coming up next, the Student Activities Office is doing a food drive known as the Hunger Games.
All clubs are involved as a competition. We will then talk about NCC Student Government Club and the Philosophy Club when we return. You're watching NCC News.
All right. I know this isn't any fun to talk about, but we should. Okay. So who's going to do what?
I'll pack the dead batteries.
Great.
I'll only put what I don't need into a duffel bag.
Perfect. That's totally unhelpful.
No problem.
Meanwhile, I will try to comfort everyone by speaking in a calm voice.
And I'll try to get the generator going without any gas.
Oh, let's not forget the cell phones, which probably won't work.
Right.
And who is going to handle supplies?
I can forget to do a list for us.
Thanks, pal.
Well, I think we couldn't be any less prepared. I'm proud of you guys.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Visit ready.gov/kids for tips and information.
What college are you going to?
I don't know.
What do you want to be?
I don't know. My parents want me to be an architect.
Architect?
Yeah, but it's my future. I want to do something that turns me on.
What turns you on?
I don't know.
We know NCC has a Student Success Center where counselors assist every student in creating a future.
You'd make a cute pirate.
I don't know.
We know. Be who you want to be. Create your future at NCC.
That's low. That's low.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds. Stop the texts. Stop the wrecks. Visit us at stoptextstoprex.org.
NCC held the Hunger Games in the East Atrium. All of the items will be donated to organizations in the local area. While on campus, NCC News spoke with a few organizers.
I don't know idea what that is about.
That's a nice design.
Yeah, it is.
Well, outside? Here is all the food from Day of Thanks, which is humorously titled The Hunger Games. And this is just a huge collection of all this food that we're going to donate to a bunch of different either organizations such as like the Fairfield Lower County Bank. And we've had a whole bunch of volunteers. We've sorted out food. We've divided it into, we've took out the expireds first of all to make sure we're only giving good food. We've separated it into these different sections. And it's for a good cause, and it's a nice thing to help out.
So they go on the, so they get sorted, check expiration dates, and then wherever.
Should you guys begin?
Yes.
Basically, we had all the clubs compete with one another to collect the most cans, and this way we collected, I think, this is probably like 3 times more than last year, and it's great.
And everything else. The diagram is basically just stack it.
Today is the 4th annual Day of Thanks. This year we focused on food to deal with the food insecurities in this area and on campus. A majority of the food is going to the pantry that we're starting next semester on campus for our students, and then the other food is going to go to 3 different organizations in the community, which is the Person to Person, Family and Children's Agency, and the International Institute for Refugees.
NCC had a club fair, and while at the club fair, we spoke with the Student Government Club and the Philosophy Club. NCC got a chance to see the clubs in action around campus.
Our club is a place where students can come and share their ideas and beliefs. One of the things that we do in the club, we discuss daily topics that affect our daily lives. For example, last semester we discussed a couple of things like love. What's the definition of love? Power. What's the definition of power? What people need to have power over you? Do you have any power over people? Another topic that we discussed was superheroes. One of the things that we discussed was what makes someone a superhero? Do you need to have special powers to be a superhero? Why people need a superhero? That's one of the things that we do.
Philosophy Club takes all those ideas you learned about in philosophy class and we're really interested in and applies them to real life.
Well, basically the benefits of joining the club is to have your voice heard and also to have your concerns heard. Search online, or you can visit us at the East Campus at room 212, and on Monday from 11:30 to 2:30.
The main details of student government is that we act as sort of an overarching club to the other 40 plus clubs. We act as the financial liaisons to them. We allocate budgets, stuff like that. We approve their constitutions. As well as working with the other clubs, we serve as the voice of the student body to the administration. So if any students have any questions, comments, concerns regarding administration or what's going on at school, we're happy to answer those and bring them back to administration to bring them up. We also, it's been a while since we've had a lot of stuff going on. We hold a couple events each year. Our biggest one is Spring Fling, which takes place takes place in April. It's sort of like a big carnival type thing that we have in the front parking lot of East.
Yes, Virginia, there is a Constitution Day. While nobody makes barbecues to mark the day, nor are there any special holiday sales, it gives us a chance to value the great document that is in our country's principles. Here at the college, the day was noted by the appearance of George Baker, an actor who portrayed John Adams, the second president of the United States. Following his 90-minute performance, NCC News had a chance to talk to Mr. Baker about how Adams would have rated it.
I would say John Adams would be in the top 10 presidents. Top 10. One of the best things he did was he avoided war with France. Everyone wanted, including his own party, wanted him to go to war against France. If we had gone to war against France, we never would have gotten the Louisiana Purchase. We would have been a country that stopped at somewhere around the Mississippi River, and it would have been a terrible thing. We wouldn't have been the great country we were. But because we did make a peace treaty with France, then we were able to not only acquire the Louisiana Purchase from Napoleon, but ultimately from Spain, many of their territories, including Florida, all by peaceful means and agreements.
And Mr. Adams would have been married 250 years this year.
Coming up next, political drawings in New Haven.
And we'll meet a veteran as we continue to salute those who served our country. You're watching NCC News.
Michael Adams? Here. Michael Adams? Here. Michael Adams.
Michael Adams.
Students who miss 18 days of school in any grade risk falling behind and not graduating. Absences add up. Keep track at boostattendance.org today.
Getting closer to nature can get you closer to your family. Go to discovertheforest.org.
Political cartoonist Patrick Oliphant created drawings of presidents from Lyndon B. Johnson to the current President Barack Obama. Author David McCullough was the guest speaker at this event. NCC correspondent Tiffany Grandison shows us the drawings of a newspaper legend.
It's an artist's depiction, usually of a personality or an issue in politics. And it's often humorous, but even in the humor, it usually conveys an important idea or makes an important point.
There's only one thing that is totally accurate, the faces. 48 different faces, which are all rendered superbly. Most of them, Trumbull went and did them.
Reading is hard work. And it's usually used in order to convey very complicated ideas. But a picture, could be a cartoon or a photograph, can convey a very sophisticated idea without any words at all. And when that's done effectively, it can be incredibly powerful.
I interviewed Reagan in the White House very soon after he was shot. And I thought it was wondering, didn't he? He loved an interesting fellow. Well, even though he did give us I'm a Gerald Ford fan. And I think that more and more as time passes, people will see politics. And I was still in high school and I wanted to stay up to hear how it came out, and I was too tired to do so. And the next morning I went into my father was in the bathroom shaving. I said, Dad, who won? He said, Truman. Like it was the end of the world. And about 25, 30 years later, I went home, back to Pittsburgh. I was sitting there with him after dinner, and he launched into this whole tirade about how the country was going to hell and the world was going to hell. And I've heard much of that all my life. And then he paused and he said, too bad old Harry isn't still in the White House. Oh, I've got a little story too about our next character on stage here. When the Panama issue became a big event in Washington, I was called by President Carter to come down and advise them on what their policies ought to be. My book on Panama just published. And I was turned over to a very nice young aide, assistant, named Landon Butler, who's subsequently become a very good friend. And we were sitting in this tiny, tiny little office. And it was clear quite quickly that he didn't know anything about the Panama Canal. And so my heart went out to him because he had a real responsibility and I wanted to help him. But Rosie, my wife, and I were sitting one side of the desk, very low to our knees. The other one looked down on the floor. And there was no cigar. And he looked at me. And had a long wall. And I said, excuse me, Mr. Butler, is that what I think it is? He said, oh yes. I said, you have a nice in the White House.
Why do you think people react so emotionally to graphic and cartoons?
The whole point of the cartoon is to get a visceral reaction as opposed to a rational, reasonable cartoonist, if she or he is affected, is looking for emotional reaction. And if the cartoon is funny or sad or makes people angry or conveys or produces or provokes any reaction, that again can be very powerful.
Political cartoons are still powerful today. Why or why not?
They absolutely are very powerful today because there are personalities in politics who can be depicted in a way that a cartoonist can make a point. And there are also some issues as well that can be discussed or evoked in a way that no number of words can do. The whole point of political cartooning is, from my perspective, it makes political commentary more democratic. Abraham Lincoln once said that democracy is government of the people, by the people, for the people, and there's almost nothing more democratic in political commentary than cartooning.
Different from Ronald Reagan as anybody could have been. And if I had to, as anybody could have been, say which one I like best, it virtually nothing to do with their politics. Say which one I like, and that is George Bush Sr. It has sort of standard nothing to do with politics, and that is George Bush times we have to live standard presidential. One of the most obvious lessons understanding the times we is that it isn't about just politics. And one of the Wilmot provides most obvious lessons. It's about everything.
Tiffany Grandison, NCC News.
Veterans Day is a celebration to honor America's veterans for their patriotism, love of country, and willingness to serve and sacrifice for the common good. Veterans who serve their country honorably during war or peacetime. We pay tribute to all American veterans, living or dead. Tiffany Grandison sat down with a NCC veteran in honor of Veterans Day.
I joined the Connecticut National Guard because I wanted to serve my country. I enlisted. It hasn't been a draft for a few years, so now everyone who serves
our way of life, protect our ability of free speech, protect our ability to assemble, protect our ability to worship God the way that we choose. Unfortunately, it was made of wood, and after many years it began to deteriorate and finally had to be taken down, and those names looked like they were going to be lost.
There will no longer be any need for war and any need for men and women to give their lives. Amen.
Right now, all the members of the military are volunteers. Iraqi Freedom.
Okay, that's
And I was
cool.
also in Bosnia as part of the Stabilization Force peacekeeping mission. I got out of the military as a staff sergeant.
So my great-grandfather actually served in the Spanish-American War, and one before him started the Jewish Veterans War Memorial in Washington, D.C. And it's just so special to be here today to honor the sacrifices that veterans in Connecticut and across the country have made, and just a wonderful day bringing the community together, and it's all about giving back and honoring the service that veterans have given to this country. Absolutely. I definitely want to make serving veterans a priority. There's still more work to be done in Connecticut to end homelessness among veterans, to help veterans re-enter into the workforce, and to help veteran-owned businesses, so those will absolutely be priorities.
The first day I got to basic training, I would say would be the most memorable one. And it was culture shock. Going from, I joined when I was 17, so a 17-year-old kid basically, to the military where everything was very structured. You had to do what you were told, and if you didn't do what you were told, you got in trouble, usually with physical exercise, having to do push-ups or something like that. So it was a very big change for me. Being a member of the military is one of the best feelings you can have. There's a lot of camaraderie and an instant bond with other veterans. So one of the things we have here at NCC is a veterans lounge where veterans from all different branches can come together, and it's quite a place for us to do homework and whatnot. But one of the things you'll get with all the veterans here is you feel connected in some way because you've all been through difficult experiences, military service. It's just a bond that never goes away, so it's a great feeling.
Okay.
The training you'll get in the military is like nothing you can get anywhere else in the world. I've been able to shoot every weapon the military has to offer. I've worked with local militaries from other parts of the world, so I've helped train the Iraq National Guard. I've worked with Bosnians, so working with different cultures and different people and different equipment that most civilians don't get a chance to work with is one of the most amazing experiences anyone could ever have. Working with the military as a military member or as a civilian for the military, I've been to Bosnia, Iraq, Afghanistan, Dubai. That's about it for the military.
Those men and women who've chosen to serve their country, I can't think of a more noble calling. There's a wonderful quote by Winston Churchill: "We make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give." And the men and women who choose to serve their nation are willing to give their life on behalf of their country. And that is a pretty special calling. We know that peace and freedom are not purchased with gold or silver. Peace and freedom, that which we enjoy today, is purchased with the blood of our nation's youth.
When I was in the National Guard, I was an infantryman. So my job is basically to be the ground troop that fights the war. So we did everything from, while deployed, we did everything from combat patrols, making sure the enemy doesn't attack our base, and peacekeeping missions to make sure rival factions of different nations don't kill each other, and nation building, trying to help the local people rebuild their country.
Well, I'm delighted to be here on Veterans Day in Stamford, the celebration, because, arguably never has the divide between those who wear our uniform and those who don't been quite as large as it is today. We have young men and women deployed around the globe, but it's a tiny percentage of all Americans. And so moments like this allow us to remember and to hear the stories of those who have served abroad and who have been in harm's way. And it just makes real something that sometimes you might only know about because you watch the TV. So my hope is that more Americans attend celebrations like this and meet the veterans, the young ones who are just returning from places like Afghanistan and Iraq, as well as the older veterans.
Absolutely. Having served overseas in 2 different countries that were going through war and losing some friends that were serving with me overseas, it makes me think that war is obviously a horrible, horrible thing, and it should be a last resort for any kind of conflict. But sometimes it is necessary to protect our values and our way of life. I just hope that we never have to go through it again.
Okay, how did your service in the military and experiences affect your life?
They taught me a lot about myself. I learned, by being overseas, I learned that in order to get a full understanding of other people, of other cultures, you have to go and experience them. Go talk to those people, learn about what they think, and maybe bridge the gap between some of your differences. And if we were able to do that effectively, we could prevent a lot of the conflicts that we have today.
Okay, is there anything you would like to add that we have not covered in this interview?
There's always things to add. I think one thing that's important to note is that the veteran population is a very, very small percentage of the entire U.S. population. It's less than 0.5% of the U.S. population has served overseas, and it puts a very high toll on those families because those service members are continually going back overseas. And right now there's a big stigma with receiving help for mental health issues, and because of that, a veteran kills himself every day because they can't deal with the issues that they have coming home from war. And we need to do something as Americans to prevent that from happening.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above, from the mountains to the prairie, to the ocean, away with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
While President Obama announced his immigration reform action to the world, the Latin Grammy Awards paused. Some artists expressed their opinions throughout the awards. CNN has this story.
The 15th annual Latin Grammy Awards took a bow to President Obama, allowing him to first deliver his immigration thoughts to a TV audience.
Today, our immigration system is broken, and everybody knows it. It's been this way for decades. And for decades, we haven't done much about it.
Then from the MGM Grand Hotel, Latino music and culture wove together with a sense of euphoria from the president's speech. Obama declared he wants to prevent deportation of an estimated 5 million undocumented immigrants. And so, winner Carlos Vives dedicated his trophy to the president.
Para el presidente Obama.
And on the arrival line, the usual talk about who's wearing what turned to what will happen with immigration next.
It is important because there's so many people that live here for so many years that they need that answer. They need to be able to know where they're going to go, where their dreams are going to go.
As a Puerto Rican, I'm an American citizen, you know, so to me, it doesn't affect me the same way, but I suffer, and I know it's a big deal for Latinos in this country to be recognized and to be represented, and they deserve to be here if they work hard.
This country is a land of dreams.
Demian Bashir played an immigrant gardener in the film A Better Life, a role that earned him a Best Actor Oscar nomination 2 years ago. The Mexican star applauded the Obama proposal from Hollywood.
Even though that does not fix the whole broken immigration system, it helps a lot. And it's a big, big, big step. We have to celebrate that.
And back in Las Vegas, the joy and the tributes poured out on stage, winner Mark Anthony.
Wow! Boricua!
They delayed the Latin Grammy 17 minutes for the president's announcement many Latinos waited a lifetime to hear. Paul Verkaman, CNN, Los Angeles.
That's our news for now. I'm Michael Perea.
And I'm Alex Ravello. Thank you for watching NCC News.
This chef, right? That's so gay. That's really gay. Dude, look at those hands.
Please don't say that.
What?
Don't say that something is gay when you mean that something is dumb or stupid. It's insulting. It's like if I thought this pepper shaker was stupid and I said, man, and this pepper shaker is so 16-year-old boy with a cheesy mustache. When you say that's so gay, do you realize what you say? Knock it off.
The next 30 seconds can save you a lot of money. Just do your laundry in cold and stick to full loads. Auto-sleep your computers. Plug your gadgets in a power strip and switch it off when you're done. Headed out? Turn back your thermostat by 10 degrees. And drive sensibly. The more energy you save, the more money you save. Find other great tips at energysaver.gov.
There's no place like home.
Getting home safely is just a click away. But making sure your child is in the right seat is just one of the steps down the road to safer travels.
I don't know how it works.
Find the right seat for your little one's age and size.
We've done what you told us.
There's no better way to get home safely. Know for sure that your child is in the right seat. Get all the facts at safercar.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Pretty much a good day for me would be people leaving their hands off of me. I'm always called names. Everywhere that I go, there's always someone calling me names, calling me gay. I've been choked, thrown up against a wall, punched. Nobody's ever tried to help me. Hey, look at Mommy.
Maybe the light hurts his eyes.
Maybe she's just not hungry. Look. Maybe it's a phase.
Avoiding eye contact is one early sign of autism. Learn the others today.
Coming up on the next edition of NCC News, a look at the Norwalk Early College Academy, and we will continue our salute to those who have given so much for our country. Thank you for watching NCC News.